Yeah, just really proud of our guys. I mean, that's a tough thing in this game to come back from, a close loss, like we did against Tennessee State, where you're down big and you come back and, all the emotion and everything, and then to lose that game. It's tough to come and, suit back up the next week and be locked in. But that's the most energy I think we've had this year on our sideline. The guys just had a resolve about them, just from the beginning. Some things down the stretch you wish you'd have made a play here, a play there, and put it away. But our guys did what they needed to do to win the game, and just really, really, really proud of them.
Coach, could the first half had gone better?
No, I mean it really. As I say, we firing on all cylinders. We were running the ball, at the running back position. With Spoon and Tez, and DJ was doing a good job of some design quarterback runs. Did a nice job with some reads and running the ball. And then he also, like he does when he can pull it down when nothing's open in the passing game, getting out there in that open field. He's scary. And not only is he elusive, I think you saw a couple of times today too. He's a physical player too. I mean, he's a big kid. So he's tough to bring down. Even on the finish of some tackles. And defensively, we're playing, really good. And, finally, got some turnovers. That's been the thing that's been missing. We missed, on some turnovers, Tennessee State, with some picks. If we'd have caught some of the ones he threw to us at Tennessee State, would have been a different ball game a week ago. So that makes all the difference in the world, being able to finish on those plays.
Coach, looking ahead, you got 2 games left. One against SEMO, who you guys have already beaten. Um, First conference win. The next 2 games, the last 2 games are both conference. What's got to be the mindset going forward here?
Just prepare like we did, this week is the main thing. You gotta the concern, when you win is to be jaded, that everything's good, seeing stuff through the rose-colored, glasses, and the worry when you lose is to be crushed by that, that everything's bad, So I mean, the battle's the same every week. It's just different, whether you win or lose. So it's, make sure we're not jaded to the mistakes that we made, where we got to prepare and fix and do better, because you got to take a step forward every week, regardless of what your situation is as far as your players. And our guys did a great job, with next man up mentality, with as many guys as we've had out, this week and this week of the season, week 9, going into week 10. So it's going to be more of the same as far as new guys stepping up and guys trying to get healthy and get out of there, and then get out there on the playing field, and then making sure we have we're locked in and preparing and fixing the things that need fixed.
Dean, is there a way to measure how important it is to get that goose egg out of the win column in the OVC?
I really honestly wasn't aware of it till he said something. I didn't. I guess I didn't think about the SEMO and the EIU, thing. The first time not being a conference, you just take one game at a time, and I knew we were 3-5. I didn't really know what we were in a conference, honestly. But yeah, it's always better to have one over there on the left side of that column.
Did you imagine that 5 points in the second half would win this ball game?
Yeah, kind of a strange deal. You know what I mean? With how things happened, and really there was a, kind of depending on what happened on third of whether or not we were going to go for it there, down the stretch. And Aaron, it sounded good, it looked good, had good rotation, and just barely clipped that goalpost. And I told Baum, I said, hey, there's not a whole lot of times that you're, that close to perfection on a day. You know what I mean? If you go through your life and you just miss perfection by that much, you're going to have a pretty good life, if day to day, So, he had a good game, just missed that by a little bit. And, that obviously would have changed things, because now it's they got to get 1 2-point conversion, and score. So it makes it a little bit, different. But, when you can get a game come down to an onside kick, you were in a battle. And, it was, we're very fortunate, that they just didn't execute on that.
Actually, I do have one more thing. Marcus Floyd Can you say a few things about his performance today?
You know, he's been, you know, consistent since we got here. You know, when we got here, you know, we really didn't know what we had, you know, and we learned pretty quickly, you know, two guys that were not on full scholarship, you know, was Marcus and Scotty Humpick. And, you know, just through practice, you know, normally you don't do that as a coach, especially FCS level where you can break up scholarships and stuff. But, you know, as a staff, we just watching those two kids in practice and we're like, my goodness, you know, if there's two better players out there in the OVC than these two guys, you know, show them to me, you know. So you know, that's one of the first things we did, you know, in our time here was, you know, elevate Marcus and Scotty Humpick. And, you know, those two kids trained together, you know, in the summer, both from Louisville, and they both are, you know, really tireless workers, do a great job. You know, Marcus is very talented, so, you know, anything he does on the football field is not a surprise. You know, he's electric, you know, with the ball in his hands like an offensive player when he does get those interceptions, you know, and our guys did a nice job of, you know, transitioning and becoming blockers for him.
Dean, just one more thing before we wrap up. Marcus's day, among the years you've spent in coaching football, I mean, that a day like that doesn't happen very often.
No, I don't know how many times, you know, I'm getting old there, Dave, so I'm not sure, but I don't know how many times I've had a single player, you know, get 3 picks. You know, I remember one time at Glenville when I was defensive coordinator, we got 8 picks in a game, and that was just crazy, you know, that we had. As a matter of fact, I told the kids if they got 5, I'd shave my head bald. And when I got to practice on that Monday, they had a folding chair out on the 50-yard line with a extension cord and a pair of clippers hanging over the end of it, you know. So I don't ever make that statement anymore, but I'd be in trouble if I told Marcus if he gets 3 picks, I'll shave my head. But yeah, I don't remember too many times a single player, you know, having 3.